Are you thinking of traveling to Europe from the USA anytime soon? Amazing, exciting, and also slightly terrifying if you've looked at the rules lately. Today, we are going to take you on a roller coaster ride, talking about general stuff, then circling back to the actual details. Are you ready for this? Let's go! Let's start with the biggest travel rule change, which is the ETIAS. It's the new electronic travel authorization system you're going to need to enter 30 European countries. Think of it like the European Union asking you, "Hey, are you going to behave while you're here?" And you say, "Yes, I'm just here for the gelato and the museums." It's €7, it's online, and it's mandatory. But don't worry, it's usually approved in minutes, unless your browser crashes. They keep pushing the date forward. The latest update is that it will be effective in mid-2026, but always stay informed because there could be future changes. Subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you will learn of any new travel changes. Now let's say you keep forgetting your passport renewal date for the third time. Ask me how I know. Well, it happened to me a couple of times. It was an absolute disaster. And this is exactly why I made a 250-page ebook on travel disasters. Because one time I booked a flight without checking my passport expiry date, and I learned the hard way that some countries deny entry if your passport is going to expire in 6 months. Now let's talk about flights. That's the big elephant in the room because without a ticket, your travel plans is a no-go, right? And that's why we want to tackle it first. Booking flights has now become a tactical sport or target practice. You need travel alerts, strategy, patience, and coffee too. Google Flights should be your first stop, and Skyscanner is also a good option. Make sure to set your alerts, stock that price, and don't book the first thing you see. Airlines know you're impatient. They prey on your FOMO. One time, I found a flight to Rome for $250, and it was a round trip. Was it 2 stopovers and a 6-hour layover in Zurich? Yes. Was I fed? No. Did I eat an overpriced granola bar in Terminal B and cry like a baby? Absolutely. Avoid basic economy for long-haul flights, please, or you will regret following this advice. Unless you want to become one with your seat and never see your knees again. Now, where do you sleep in Europe without going broke or being catfished by hotel photos taken in 2007? Airbnb works, but you've got to read the reviews. And did you know that some countries have strict rules against short-term rentals? In my digital bundle, you will learn all about that, but here is a pro tip. If someone says the host was present a lot, that's code for they live behind a curtain in the living room. Another pro tip, Booking.com often has free cancellation and breakfast included. That's 2 wins before you even leave the room. And don't ignore hostels. I know, you don't like them. But they're not just for 19-year-old backpackers. Some are actually nice, like, I might extend my trip nice, which means some have private rooms and not just bunk beds. Some have rooftop views, and even access to laundry machines. If you're traveling with family or a group, split a short-term apartment. I once rented a 2-bedroom flat in Athens for the price of a single room in New York City, and it had a balcony, and I felt like I was in a rom-com. I go through all of this and more in the video guides that come with my digital bundle. I cover travel rules, accommodations, transportation, and more for France, Dubai, Thailand, UK, and Japan. Each video guide has its own 7-day itinerary, travel checklist, and things like, don't wear flip-flops on cobblestone. Your ankles deserve better. In other words, I cover a lot, even things you might not think about until the day of your trip. With my digital travel bundle, you will be so much more prepared for your trip to Europe. Now, we have to talk about transportation in Europe. It's a beautiful mess. You have to know how and what to choose if you want to stay on budget. Here's the golden rule. Trains for vibes, planes for speed, buses for your budget. Ryanair is the Wild West of airlines, cheap, fast, and mildly traumatic. They will charge you for breathing wrong, but you'll get to Rome for $40 and somehow that makes it worth it. Trains are the way to go if you book early. And I mean early, like 6 weeks early, not 6 minutes before departure while holding a croissant. Oh, and please learn how to validate your train ticket. I once forgot in Milan and got fined by a very angry conductor who looked like he could break me in half. Now let's get down to some of the details, from planning to that passport stamp. So let's say you've decided this is the year you will finally use that passport that's been collecting dust in the back of your sock drawer. So you've finally said it out loud, I'm going to Europe. Your passport's not expired, your PTO is approved, and your suitcase is already staring at you like, let's go. But here's the thing. Europe is not one country. It's a buffet of adventure, and choosing where to go first is like choosing a favorite dessert in a Parisian bakery. It's overwhelming, and also slightly delicious. Let's say you picked France as your destination. Why? Is it because it's got it all? The Eiffel Tower, warm croissants, countryside castles, wine that costs less than soda, and just enough attitude to keep you on your toes. But here's what you might not know. France has 11 different regions, and Paris is only one of them. Trains in France can be faster than planes. Yes, seriously. The further south you go, the slower people move, and the faster they talk. And if you think you're gonna survive with just bonjour and merci, you're in for a spicy cultural wake-up call. Stick around, because what you don't know about choosing a destination could totally change what you pack, when you book, how early you show up at the airport, and whether or not you accidentally end up at a cheese festival in the middle of rural Normandy, which, to be fair, still sounds awesome. Choosing France or any other destination affects everything. Your packing list, your timeline, even how you greet people without accidentally offending them. We'll get to that in a minute. Here's where your Pinterest board dreams crash into reality. You're like, can I really afford to sip wine in Provence and not bankrupt my 401k? Yes, with planning, but not the boring kind. Pick your dates wisely. Shoulder season, April, May, or September, October. Equal sign, fewer crowds and better prices. Use Google Flights to scan for cheap airfare. Set alerts and be flexible by a day or two. Decide how many cities you'll visit. France isn't just Paris. There's Lyon, the food capital, Nice, the beachy and bougie section, and Bordeaux, wine plus vineyards plus wow. Create a loose itinerary, anchor activities, like the Louvre Museum, and leave room for spontaneous stuff, like accidentally joining a protest. Hey, it's France. I'll show you how that itinerary connects to how you pack and when you should be at the airport. Coming up soon. It's not about how much you pack, it's about how many wrong things you pack. You know what screams lost tourist? 3 suitcases, no walking shoes, and forgetting voltage converters for your flat iron. Roll your clothes, don't fold, save space and skip wrinkles, pack layers. Paris weather changes moods like it's in therapy. Bring 1 pair of stylish walking shoes and 1 comfy backup. No stilettos. You're not walking a red carpet. You're navigating cobblestones. Universal adapter, copies of your passport, prescription meds, travel-sized everything. A scarf or shawl. Seriously, it gets cold on planes and chic on the street. This packing list is in my international travel checklist, which is part of my planning bundle, and it covers everything from tech to toiletries. It's the night before. You're triple-checking your passport. You're not sleeping. Your suitcase is packed, probably too full. Welcome to departure day. Arrive 3 hours early for international flights. I know, it feels extreme, but do you really want to be the person doing the laptop liquid shoe shuffle in a panic? Check in online and screenshot your boarding pass and hotel address. Wear slip-ons or loafers for airport security, and put your liquids and electronics where they're easy to grab. Don't bring water through TSA. Bring an empty bottle and fill it after security like a seasoned traveler. You'll fly through security like a pro if you follow the TSA tips in my digital travel bundle. Because yes, even French airports get backed up too. You're at the gate, you made it. You've got snacks, a neck pillow, and 10 hours to rethink your seat selection. Here's how to survive your transatlantic journey. Boarding starts early. Set a phone alarm for 10 minutes before it begins. Bring noise-canceling headphones, a hoodie, and downloaded entertainment. Because in-flight Wi-Fi will betray you. Compression socks are not just for grandparents. Swollen feet at baggage claim is a thing. Hydrate. Like you're prepping for a skincare ad. Flying dehydrates you faster than gossip spreads on a group tour. And you will thank yourself later when you land feeling human instead of like a jet-lagged raisin. The wheels hit the tarmac. You made it. Your plane claps, probably. Your seat neighbor breathes a little too loud, and you're now officially on French soil. When you get off the plane, follow signs for non-EU passports. The immigration officer will ask for your passport, your address in France, have this printed or screenshotted, and proof of return flight or onward travel. Smile, but not too much. French border agents aren't there to be charmed. They're there to stamp. Once you get through immigration, head to baggage claim. Look for your suitcase. If it's missing, don't panic. File a report before you leave the airport. That tip alone saves people stress. Ask me how I know. Grab some euros from an ATM, better exchange rate than currency counters, and take a licensed taxi or train to your hotel. And now, you're in France. Everything you did, the planning, the packing, the 3 a.m. travel anxiety, it got you here. And if you're wondering what to do next, That's why I made a full digital guide on exploring France, with a 7-day itinerary inside my travel bundle. Grab it now. The link is in the description. And I couldn't end the video without adding a bonus. What to do if things go wrong on your trip. Let's be honest. Something will go wrong on your trip. Your suitcase could decide to party in Frankfurt while you're in Paris. You might order escargot thinking it's a fancy dessert, or your hotel might magically forget your reservation because they thought you were arriving next week. Welcome to travel reality. And guess what? It's okay. Lost luggage? Pack one outfit and essentials in your carry-on. File a claim at the airport immediately and ask for a daily compensation form. Most airlines have them. They just don't advertise it. Language barrier meltdown? Use Google Translate offline mode. It's a lifesaver in cafes, train stations, and when asking where the nearest toilet is. Got pickpocketed? First, breathe. Then contact your bank, cancel cards, and visit the nearest police station to file a report. Pro tip, write down emergency numbers before your trip. That's why I wrote an entire 250-page ebook about travel disasters like these, and more importantly, how to survive them. Real scenarios, real solutions, zero judgment. Because the truth is, even seasoned travelers get scammed, get sick, and get stuck. But it's not about if something goes wrong, it's about knowing how to handle it without panic. And you don't have to figure it out alone. That's why my international travel planning bundle exists. To prepare you, protect your peace, and save your sanity from takeoff to touchdown. So now you know how to get to Europe, survive it, and maybe even enjoy it without pulling your hair out. If you want the smoothest travel planning experience, and you want to know what to do when your hotel loses your reservation and the front desk only speaks French, my digital travel planning bundle is waiting for you in the description. Just click the link and you will have immediate access to it for an exclusive launch price of only $39.99. If you're serious about making your European adventure smooth, stress-free, and actually fun, then don't wing it. Again, just click the link in the description and you will have immediate access to it. It's your all-in-one toolkit with a 250-page disaster-proof travel ebook with solid solutions, a 16-module audiobook about planning for an international trip. At the end of every module, there is a quiz to make sure you understood everything. It also includes FB video travel guides with full 7-day itineraries for France, Japan, Thailand, Dubai, and UK, packing checklists, transportation hacks, and honestly, peace of mind. Hit that like button if your passport photo looks like a mugshot. Wait, before you come for me, I am just kidding. Subscribe if you're ready to be a global jet setter, and drop a comment telling me which European country you're hitting first. And no, Liechtenstein doesn't count just because it's tiny. Pick a big one, my friend. France or Japan are good countries to start planning your next trip. The video guide will help you make that important decision. That's all for now. This is your host, Cheryl, saying until next time and safe travel to Europe. Make sure you come back and tell us about your amazing adventure. See you again soon.